Welcome, we're ready for number 6, trig identity. So I chose first to start on the left side, and I decided to rewrite secant as 1 over cosine and tangent as sine over cosine. Because that way I have two fractions that have the same denominator, and therefore I can add them. So I added them together. And then I looked at it. And currently I've got a cosine in my denominator, and I need my denominator to have a 1 minus sine of x to make it look like the right side. So it's gonna have to change a lot. So what I'm hoping is I can multiply by, what's it need to be? 1 minus sine of x? 1 minus sine of x over 1 minus sine of x, the numerator and the denominator, and then I can eventually cancel the cosine. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if it's going to work. When you try this stuff, you just don't know. Now remember, there's a parentheses around every numerator and every denominator. There's a parentheses there and there. No one ever draws them, but they're there. So that's a binomial and that's a binomial, and we need to multiply them. So the numerator is kind of nice because that's going to end up being 1 minus sine squared of x. We'll let you look at that for a second. I'm going to leave my denominator factored, because sometimes when I distribute, then I have to factor it in the next step, and I'm not sure if I have to distribute it or not yet. I'm hoping the cosine will cancel. Okay, so in our previous problem, we know that 1 minus sine squared, using our Pythagorean identity, sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. The numerator here, what's that going to be? The problem that we're doing, number 6. The numerator is going to be what? Using that Pythagorean identity. Sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x equals 1. So what does 1 minus sine squared equal? Should be cosine squared, right? So I can substitute for the numerator cosine squared. And then one of those cosines is going to cancel. Then it's going to be the same. So cosine squared of x over, and now I'm glad I did not distribute the denominator, because one of those cosines is going to cancel, and we'll have one cosine left. I'm running out of room. I'm going to continue over here. So this is kind of how I want you to continue your work if you run out of room on paper. You just draw a line somewhere else, like this, and you continue your work. So we've got, that's going to become cosine of x over 1 minus sine of x. Still working on the left so that equals on the right. And now the left side looks like the right side. So now we can fill in the right side.